Smack-a-magob, it's time for a track by track from Mr. Joe Hampson. Now, Joe said to me, hey, can you put either Volume 4 versus Van Halen 2 or Volume 4 versus Kill 'Em All or Van Halen 2 versus Kill 'Em All? Well, that's what I'm going to do, Joe. I'm going to do Van Halen 2 versus Kill 'Em All, but as an added bonus, this will be in future Black Sabbath Sundays. I'm going to put Volume 4 against Van Halen 2, and then I'm going to do Volume 4 against Kill 'Em All for future Black Sabbath Sundays. And I'll say Joe Hampson asked for these, so you're going to get all three, bro. You said pick one or the other. I'm going to pick all three. So here we go. Now, I got to say this. Timeline's everything, right? When it comes to this stuff, Van Halen 2, in my opinion, destroys Kill 'Em All. Way better album, but that is because it's a timeline thing. All you people that were born later and are big fans of Kill 'Em All and don't really care much of Van Halen 2, you don't understand. You just don't get it. But it's awesome that you love Kill 'Em All more than Van Halen 2 because it's your timeline, and enjoy, because Kill 'Em All is a great album. Just think Van Halen 2 demolishes it. All right, let's go. You're No Good versus Hit the Lights. Now, love them both, man. What a great version of You're No Good that Van Halen does. Odd opener, but whatever. I'm going with Hit the Lights, though. This is one that I got to give to Metallica. I think it's a better song. All right, next, Dance the Night Away versus the Four Horsemen. I'm definitely going with Van Halen. The melodics, I never get sick of Dance the Night Away. Just those harmonies, that guitar playing Eddie does, is just perfection to me. And it wins. All right, next, Somebody Get Me a Doctor versus my favorite song off Kill 'Em All, Motor Breath. And the winner is Somebody Get Me a Doctor, man. Definitely that one. Love it. And that's not even my favorite song off the Van Halen 2. Next, Bottoms Up versus Jump in the Fire. This one is quite simple, and I love them both, but it's simple. Come on, baby. Bottoms up, wins, wins, wins. Yeah. And then the next one is my favorite song off the album, Out of Love Again. Or Out of Love versus Anesthesia, the bass solo, which is cool and all, but come on. Van Halen totally wins that. All right, we flipped one of the albums over, the Van Halen album over, with Light Up the Sky going against Whiplash, which is probably the toughest one out of both of these because it's pretty damn close. But I got to go with Light Up the Sky. Another one for Van Halen. Next, Spanish Fly versus Phantom Lord. I love them both, but Phantom Lord, man. Phantom Lord's a badass song, and that's a badass little instrumental Eddie's doing there. But Phantom Lord, man, wins. All right, next, No Remorse versus DOA. Both awesome songs, but I got to go with Van Halen. Easily Van Halen. Yeah, I would have to say easily Van Halen. DOA, and I love No Remorse. Next, Seek and Destroy versus Woman in Love. Man, this is another tough one, I got to say. Because I love Woman in Love, but I got to go with Seek and Destroy. Not sick of that song. That song is like such a classic. Amazing song. And there, I'm going to give another one to Metallica. All right, the last song is Beautiful Girls versus Metal Militia. Love them both, but you know, man, I mean, there ain't nothing like blasting this song while sitting on a beach chair or beach blanket to Beautiful Girls. Classic beyond classic. I'm giving it to that. So, Joe, the final score is this. And I thank you, my friend. And as I said, it'll be in the future because I got a lot of donations for Black Sabbath Sundays coming up. But when I'm done with those, I'm definitely going to put Volume 4 versus Van Halen 2, and then at a later date I'll put Volume 4 versus Kill 'Em All. So thank you so much for the donation, my friend, and anybody out there want to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a gob. Before we get canceled, check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast with me and Wattzilla. We are the Podcast Kings. Link to the podcast is in the description below, and also a link to the YouTube page. Check out older episodes with visuals. And very soon, either Ian and I will learn how to go on YouTube Live. Might be soon. So check out the greatest podcast ever according to Science.com. It's also God's favorite podcast and Satan's favorite podcast as well. So check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast before we get canceled.